up is we're going to look at area of a triangle, and this is where you have a side angle side relationship. If you want put off to the side here, I call this the ABC rule, and I'll tell you why it's called the ABC rule in just a minute. So draw any triangle ABC. Doesn't matter if it's acute, obtuse, whatever, this is always going to work. Again, notice here's angle A, opposite of that is little a, capital B angle, little b, capital C angle, little c. The area of a triangle formula is area equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, so I need to drop in the height. So I'm going to go from B, perpendicular down to AC. There's my right triangle on the left, right triangle on the right. Doesn't matter which one you use, but we have to find the height. Well, since my formula says base times height, we already have the base, little b. We need to find the height written in terms of a side angle side. So that means I can either find C, A, and B, two sides and the included angle, or the right side triangle, two sides A and B, and its included angle C. Either one works. Well, I'm going to go from the left-right triangle. So sine of A is equal to opposite H over C, very similar that we did for the law of sines. We multiply over the C like we did, and now we replace the H with sine times the sine of angle A. That expression represents my height. So my formulas, there's three of them, but again, it's really one. I just call it the ABC formula. So here, BC multiplied to the half, sine of angle A. Now, if again I chose this angle as my included angle, then my two sides would be A and B with angle C. So hopefully between these two you can see why I call it the ABC formula. Notice the information you're looking for or that need to be given creates A, B, C in some way, shape, or form. A, B, C. So if this is going to be angle B, then this has to be side A and C. So any angle that you're given and the included sides is what you plug into the formula. All right, example time. Here we have, find the area of ABC. Here you have an angle, 55 degrees, 10 minutes, that's in between two given sides, 34.0 feet, 42.0 feet. Okay, that's a side angle side. So this is side A, this is side C. I need to have 1/2 times AC times the sine of angle B. So I plug in the numbers. And I go to my calculator. 1/2 times 34 times 42 times the sine of 55. Again, this is the quicker way to enter degrees and minutes. If you're in the degree mode of your calculator, you just type this in as 55 plus 10 divided by 60. There's 60 minutes in 1 degree. And that gives me 586.0633683. I opted to go to 2 decimal places for my area, or round it to whatever the directions tell you. But remember, here the units are feet squared. That will be worth a point to make sure you have the appropriate units on the test. Okay, next example. This is an angle, side angle. Wait a minute, it has to be a side angle side. So in order to find the area of this triangle, you need to find one more side. We either have to find C, so you have C, angle A, and side B for your formula, or you have to find A, you have angle C and side B, and use your formula. Well, if you're given two angles, dun, da, 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 immediately find the third angle. You have to find angle B right away. Now, because everything is given in degrees and minutes here, which means this is going to be time consuming to type this in over and over and over again, because remember, we're going to have to use the law of sines to find either A or C, and then we have to use our area formula, again, typing in degrees and minutes. Why don't we store all the angles? So notice what I did in my calculator. I typed in 24 degrees, 40 minutes, stored it in A. Okay, it gives me 24.666666. Angle C, I typed it in the quick way, 52 plus 40 divided by 60. Excuse me, stored it for capital C. Sorry, that's alpha C. Again, you got to find angle B. Now, one thing I noticed on the calculator, I was trying to shortcut, and I noticed I can't do return my answer as degrees, minutes, seconds, and store it for B at the same time. Okay, so we want it in degrees, minutes, and seconds first. So that's 102 degrees, 40 minutes. And then once you have this answer, click the store button, then ANS will show up, which says previous answer stored in alpha B. So now I have my third angle. So now I set up my law of sines proportion. Well, I'm going to go with side C. And again, it doesn't matter which one you use. But again, you can see I don't want to type this all in. Those are long, lengthy angles to type in. So if you want, you can call this, remember 102 degrees, 40 minutes, that's B. So you could put sine of B here in your work as long as you tell me you stored it. Okay, and that's simply say let A equal this, so I know you're putting it into your calculator. Here is angle C. So instead of writing all this out, you could say 27.3 times the sine of angle C divided by the sine of angle B. Now, why do I say that? Calculator entry here is going to be much easier to use alpha B and alpha C. So here, I'm going to need that C value for my leg, for my side of my triangle. So I'm going to call that X. So when I type this all in, as you can see how much longer it is to type this all in compared to this. So I typed this all in. So I did put in the little tick mark, close the parentheses, store it for X, or I can just type this in. Get the exact same value. Now again, I wanted to store this value because that value stored in X is going to be plugged into my area formula. So now area equals 1/2 base B times side C times the sine of angle A. So writing it all out, I opted to put out 3 decimal places. Again, this is just to show you this is side C, this is my angle A, but again, that's not what I'm going to type into my calculator. I opted for 1/2 times the 27.3. I don't have to hit the times symbol next to my X. And then there's times sine of angle A, which again, I have stored. And we get 126.741046. I opted to go to 3 decimal places. Remember, it's centimeters squared. There's my units. It's squared. So again, you round to wherever the directions tell you. All right.